Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be showing a bit of an exploit by which you can just create free money in Victoria 3. Now, a couple days ago we did a video on both deficit spending, which is good to do, and also bankruptcy, which is bad to do, generally speaking, and in it, there was someone in the comment section who pointed something out to me that I was unaware of. Shout out to you. This is that there's an upper limit for the amount of credit you can have, and the upper limit of credit is actually determined by your line of credit. Now, in previous kind of patches of Victoria 3, your line of credit was actually very difficult to manipulate because it was based on mostly the reserves of buildings. But now, you get half your GDP, ours is 97 million at this point in time, you get half your GDP as a line of credit. So we are getting 45 million-ish line of credit from our GDP. Because you can manipulate your GDP, you can use the fact that there's an upper limit of credit to print free money. So just taking a look here, we're just going to show the phenomena. Currently, we're at minus 24% throughput, which without an exploit is probably not something we can recover from, and we would have to declare bankruptcy. What we're going to do is we're going to unpause and look at the 114 million line of credit, and also the fact that we owe, or that we have a line of credit of 113 million, and we currently owe 114 million. What's going to happen is as the throughput penalty gets bigger and bigger, as this jumps up to 27, 28, 29, we are going to actually run a smaller and smaller credit line. As you can see, it's shrunk from 113 million to 111 million. And it will continue to shrink, but with it shrinks our credit as well. And so what this means is we are effectively deleting debt right now by decreasing the line of credit. Now, obviously, we don't want to be in default forever. We don't want to run a bunch of negative throughput, this type of thing. But you can use this phenomena. You can see we're down now 5 million less is owed. You can use this phenomena in order to just delete money. The second you get into default, or actually even when you're approaching default, you don't need to actually default yourself. And the way that this works is PMs are a huge driver of your GDP. If you turn all of them down, you will decrease your GDP. We currently have 87 million GDP. What we are going to do, you can see ticked it down a little bit. What we are going to do is we are going to turn down all of the PMs right now, which is going to crater our GDP. Since we get half our GDP in line of credit, this will shoot down our line of credit. We will owe way less money because there is an upper limit to the credit you can owe determined by your line of credit. And so we'll be back once we reduce all of the PMs, and we will see that we owe way less than 108 million, which, by the way, is 5 million or 6 million less than what we started the video owing. Important to note, we're running a deficit right now. There's no way that this deficit is not, or is somehow taking money out from the debt. This is just debt that is getting deleted because there is an upper barrier that is tied to your credit line. So let's take a look. Alright, so we are back having turned down every single PM that we have available. The credit line and limit, or the amount of credit we owe and the credit line, have not updated here. So this is still 108, 107 million, but we can see our GDP is down from that 87 million to 64 million. So let's take a look as we unpause and we let the game think for a second. What we are going to have is this will update, and now the credit line is, or we've deleted effectively a 6 million in debt as the game updates to properly reflect that our amount of credit has decreased significantly as we have decreased the GDP. Although, did it decrease by enough? Oh, sorry. We went from 108 million to 93 million. So we've deleted like 15 million in line of credit. So when we started this video, we were at 114 million in credit owed. Now we are at 93 million in credit owed. So we have deleted over 20 million in debt. Now, for the updated thing to do, is we are going to turn all these PMs back up. And as we turn all the PMs back up, our GDP will come back up. And as our GDP comes back up, our credit limit will come back up. And when our credit limit comes back up, we will escape default here, currently running a minus 30% throughput penalty, which will further increase our GDP. So what will end up happening is we will have something like 20 to 30 million in terms of credit that we can now spend in debt. And this is just deleting debt that we have previously owned here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a pause and we are going to turn all the PMs back up. Alright, so we have turned up all the PMs, and we have increased the GDP from 60 million to 73 million. If we take a look here, this has not updated yet, but if we unpause, what will happen is our line of credit will go up, and as our line of credit goes up, our credit will not go up with it, so this will delete a whole ton of the debt. So all we need is for this to update. We see the default has gone away, our line of credit has gone up to 98 million, and as this happens, we are now no longer running the default penalty, so the throughput penalty will also go away, so our GDP should continue to jump up, much like how that loud car is jumping up, you know, in the race is passing everyone up, and our GDP will fly back up to around 100 million, and with it, we will get another like 10 million worth of credit line. We've deleted a total of 20 million-ish worth of debt, and we are now deficit spending again and running all the way back to our old GDP that we had earlier here. And so this is just, I mean, this is just free money, folks. So you never have to default again if you don't want to. Obviously, this is a pretty huge exploit. I don't have no idea why the car is so loud outside, but also why the upper rung of credit is tied to the credit limit, because the idea is that you eventually death spiral at some point when your default gets too bad. So I don't know why they have made this have this upper limit, but there is an upper limit, and you can manipulate it in order to print free money, like that guy is, you know, you can burn the cash like that guy's burning gasoline outside my door. Anyways, if you enjoyed this, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more exploits, put it down in the comments below. I was thinking of doing an exploit series where we just very briefly cover like exploits, and if this interests people, please let me know. But as you can see here, we have 14 million more credit to work with. We started with 114 million. We've been running a 500k deficit here, and it's just free money. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, YouTube algorithm stuff, etc., etc. Subscribe button, or not the subscribe button, notification bell. That's the big one. And other than that, have a good one. Bye-bye, folks.